What's up, ladies? Today we're going to be playing in this gorgeous full lace wig. She's 613 blonde with a dark root. She was sent over by the company Bay Hairs, and even better, she was body wave, so she was full of texture. Now this is her in her natural state. Again, she's 613 blonde ombre with a dark root. She was pre-plucked and came with some gorgeous baby hair. So we're going to begin the process of dyeing. We have 2 boxes of the Revlon Color Silk. Those are dark ash blonde, and then this one here is just dark blonde. Now normally I would use about 3 to 4 boxes of one color, being the dark ash blonde, but I ran out, so I improvised and I had 1 box of that other, so I did not have to go out to the drugstore, and it turned out perfect. You're going to have the perfect mixture of the ash tone, but you still will have a little bit of warmth, especially in the root, which will be perfect to make this blend with your complexion. So how I apply the dye, it's very simple. I really don't do any techniques. I literally just, mix together A plus B, shake it up, and I literally just pour it on there. I use my hands, which are protected with gloves. The box does come with some clear plastic gloves, which those kind of fit loose, so I used my own. And I'm just going to saturate the entire wig. That's that first part in the back, and as you guys can see, it already has that gray ash tone. Now, it is a little bit scary because you're going to look at your wig and be like, why does it look so gray? I didn't want gray. It for some reason comes out gray, with the dye on it, but once you rinse it out and shampoo and all that, it ends up being the perfect ash blonde. So you see here, I finally was almost done at the very top center, and I had ran out, so that's when I implemented that last bottle of that dark blonde, and that pretty much covered the root mainly in the front and the center. And I went ahead off camera and just mixed all the colors all together. Like, I kind of tried to make sure that everything was saturated, and where I put the dark blonde and with the ash blonde kind of mixed, so that no part would just look different. And as you guys can see, these are the results. It's a nice warm tone in the roots. If I would have just stuck with the ash blonde, it would have still been really light, or much lighter than the original color of the root, but it would not be as, like warm brown, I would say, but still gorgeous nonetheless. So I'm definitely pleased with this look. So now we're going to go ahead and style her. First, you cut off the lace. Off camera, I did add an elastic band. So when you're cutting around the ear, be sure not to cut that off. You probably can see there in a little bit. Also here, this is what the hairline looks like after dyeing. Now you guys can see a little bit in there. The knots did lighten, but they still are a little bit, they're basically the same color as the root. So if you want to go back and bleach the knots, that's definitely an option. For me, I feel like they were okay because they were still lightened. I'm just going to use a foundation powder, the same color as my skin at the end. Now, this is not a good depiction because I did not comb the hair out, but I just wanted to show you guys that this is a full lace wig, and it does have that dark brown root all throughout. Of course, it's lightened because of the color I put on there. And to specify, in case sometimes people are unclear, I did not put a different dye on the root. I used those 3 boxes of dye, and I just saturated them everywhere all over the wig, and tried to just mix the colors up so that not one section would be ash brown, ash blonde, and another section be just a regular blonde. I kind of wanted to mix it in a way. So here I am. I'm going to do a deep side part. I measured my side part with the arch of my eyebrow, and that's kind of how I do it. If I'm doing a center part, I measure with my nose to get the perfect center, and if I want a deep side part, I measure with line it up with the arch of my eyebrow. Now if I want something a little bit different, of course I will, but that's just kind of my rule of thumb of where I start. And this is the look. I'm gonna go ahead and flat iron her off of camera. I also did the baby hair off camera if you guys didn't notice, and I did just use foam lotion to style the baby hair after I trimmed it down really short. Now here I'm just going in where the very front of the lace is, or the crown of my head. This part has a lot of body. I'm assuming because it's body wave and it's a nice density up top, so it's full. So I'm just going in and flat ironing it at the root so that that part on the side is not too bulky. But when I get to the very top, I'm going to leave it, and I'm not going to flat iron the root just because I did want that height, but it just was a little bit too bulky because it needed to be pressed. And this is pretty much all I do. I kind of try to put that heat on that root and then just go through it. And I just go little by little until I get my achieved goal. And now you see it still has that height. I did not do anything to get that. It just naturally had that height in that body. And this is what the wig looks like in the ponytail. Again, this one is a full lace wig, so my braids are not flat, and you're gonna see that it's a little bit bulky. But if my braids were flat under here, this sits as like the perfect flat ponytail. You can go ahead and bomb the back down. If my braids were flat, I would not have to do that. But I just kind of wanted to show you guys that this one is super duper versatile. Now the dark root obviously would fit me well, but the 613 doesn't look as good on me as like this. So it's very simple to get to this color. My go-tos are either if I'm going to do a toner, I'm going to do a Wella T18, and sometimes I'll mix it, or I'll do a T28, which gives you the ash blonde, but it's a little bit darker. So it's kind of like the T18 for me, and Wella is like my translation of the Revlon box dye ash blonde, and then the T28 is like my translation of the ash dark blonde, which is what I did today. Now understand that a toner and a hair dye are two different things. So if you're using the Wella T18, that's going to rinse out over time, especially if you're washing the hair and you're wearing your wigs constantly. But I know for the average normal person, or a normal human being who does not do hair reviews, I would go with a permanent version of that. And like I said, the Revlon is very affordable. The Color Silk line, I really love those box dyes. I know I've had plenty of people who are more knowledgeable about hair dyes and things like that tell me that those dyes are not safe for hair, or they're very harmful for hair rather. And when it comes to my natural hair, I probably would use a nicer or better dye for my real hair. But as far as extensions go, I've never had the Revlon you know, ruin my hair or anything like that. So of course use it at your own discretion, but according to like hair school snobs, that's not really a good thing to put on the hair. Just a disclaimer. And like I said before, you can't compare them literally. Like the Wella and the Revlon are two different things. One is a toner, one is a dye, a box dye at that. So they serve different purposes, but just in the general sense of like, hey, I really want to get to this color, what are my two options that you could come up with, or that you know from personal experience. And those are my two that I've done multiple times. But yeah, everything about this hair was awesome. I didn't get any crazy tangling or shedding after the fact, but the hair was in a nice box like this. It had a ribbon on it, and then you have your bag if the wig came in. It tells you the specifications. This one is 22 inches, 1B613. It's a medium cap, cap 2. It's Brazilian version hair, and again, it was body wave texture. You guys seen in the beginning, it still had a wavy texture, so it did not lose. In this box with the wig in, it was also inside of this bag here, so this is really cool to keep as well. And yeah, I don't have any complaints. If I can say one thing, I probably would say that I wish the wig was a little bit fuller, but normally whenever you do a full lace wig, I find the majority of companies, when they send full lace wigs, or even when I purchase my own, they are most of the time a more natural density. So if you do want something a little bit fuller, they definitely have other options on the website. Everything is listed in the description bar. Just go ahead and click and shop away. Thank you guys so much for watching. Happy New Year. Happy 2019. Let's get to these goals and crush them. Also, don't forget to subscribe, like this video, share with your friends, and as always, I'll see you in the next one.